Shalom, shalom. Call HALALYAM La.
Call HALALYAM La, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone and teacher rule well. Peace and salutations be to the hopeful elect. Brother Tazom Kabar, coming from the prophets of Babylon, camp here in Tampa, Florida. I'm going to be getting in on a quick hit, going into brotherly love. If you have brothers in this walk, that's a blessing. Okay, that's a gift from the Lord. YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. You know, and we're gonna get right into it. Why it's a blessing, man. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, and we'll start at verse 9. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. Okay, so two are better than one, man. You know, when there is two, the Lord talks about, I'm gonna grab it, and then come back to this. Book of Matthew chapter 2, it's the book of Matthew chapter 18 and verse 20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Okay, so where there's 2 or 3 or more gathered in the Lord's name, he's right there in the midst. Okay, and then it goes back here to Ecclesiastes 4:9. 2 are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. A good reward for their labor. If 2 brothers are together, they're gonna want to do more, work towards the Lord, and they're gonna have a good reward for it. Not only that, they're gonna always be motivating each other and uplifting each other, exhorting each other, correcting each other, helping each other throughout the steps of the way. When one falls, and it goes into it. It says, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe, meaning destruction, to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Alright, so when you alone and you fall, man, and you ain't when you're alone when you fall and you ain't got no brothers around to help you back up, it's gonna be a great fall, man. It's gonna be hard to get back up out of that fall, and it's gonna be grievous to your soul. A lot of suffering, the affliction's gonna be a lot for you to bear alone, So it's good to have brothers to take a load off, man. The scripture says what? Bear ye one another's burdens. So brothers are here to take a load off of you, man. You may feel like you fighting such heavy affliction, and it's like carrying a big ass dumbbell on the top of your head or on your back. You're carrying a big ass backpack full of weights, full of weighted plates, and you carrying it, and you having a hard time. Or like I brought up before, imagine trying to bring a big ass chair or a big ass couch or a table into the house alone. You're gonna have a lot more trouble doing it alone, and it's gonna take a lot more out of you. But if you have a brother there to help you bring in that couch or that table, it's gonna be a lot easier. It's gonna be almost like it was nothing because you had help. So the affliction and the weight was split between you and the other brother because he took on your burden. So it's the same thing with these afflictions and tribulations that we may face in this world, man. Things that we have to go through in this world. The Lord has given you brothers. Cherish the brotherhood. Scripture says, let brotherly love continue. Okay? So you got to have brotherly love for your brother. It says, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. It says, again, if 2 lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? So, the Lord, he made everything for a purpose, and everything has a good reason, So you got one person and another person. Y'all may have to huddle up to get some warmth, man. And we do it when we're at camp on the battlefield. When we stand on the line, we start closing the gaps. It's like if it's cold out there, we begin closing the gaps between each other so that we can get more heat. You know, we can generate more heat from each other. You know, and that's pretty much working together. Same thing as working together, being there for a brother. You know, it's a beautiful example of what? Being there for another brother. You know, and you can't do these things alone, man. I'll tell you right now, you cannot do these things alone. Yahawashi, when he was on earth, he had people with him. He had his disciples. You know, they were there with him to help him bear his burdens. You know, to be there when he's feeling down. They were there with him. So you cannot do this alone, because even Yahawashi, he had help, man. He had brothers, and we have brothers. Don't think that you're better than Yahawashi, man. Don't think that you're better than Yahawashi. Yahawashi came down to be an example, a perfect example for all of us. Okay? And Yahawashi showed that he had brothers with him. They're picking him up and supporting him, and they were supporting each other. You know, it ain't gonna be. You can't be here in this walk alone. You know, expecting to be a Batman troop. You know, a lone soldier or a winter soldier. You know, whatever you want to call it, the lone wolf. It's not gonna work. The lone wolf always goes through a lot more. You know. He always goes through a lot more hell and tribulation because he has no other wolves in the pack to help him. If a wolf hunts alone, it's going to be harder for him to get his food because the beast that fights back, you know, it's going to be easier for him to shake off just one wolf. But if it's more than one wolf, multiple wolves, you know, he knows that it's over for him, man. You know, it says, and if one prevail against him, like I was just saying with the wolf, if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Okay, so if you say you going at it, for example, a good example, you fighting one dude, and he giving it to your ass, man. He handing it to you, man. You got a brother pull up, and y'all both start getting down on his ass, man. So now he's got to fight multiple. You know, now it's going to be harder on him. And then threefold cord is not easily broken. So you got three brothers, you know, it's going to be a lot of work. You know, there's a good chance that one man won't, you know, stand a chance against them. You know, let's just be Michael the Archangel, man. You know, or some very mighty warrior. You know, he ain't gonna be able to stand up against them, man. But check this out. This is a good example, a perfect example, you know, for brothers being there for one another. You have each other for a good reason. If you have a brotherhood, you have a camp that you're a part of, it's for a good reason. Take treasure in these things, and, you know, cherish these things, because you are blessed to have a brotherhood. Not every brother has a brotherhood. Not every brother has another one to pick him up when he falls. So, taking that to heart, laying that to heart, you got to utilize the brotherhood, man. Utilize the brotherhood. Don't fight your afflictions alone. Call a brother up, you know, talk to him, you know, sup with brothers, man. Y'all can't be in the same camp and not talking to each other. You got to sup with each other. It's a beautiful thing to sup with another brother, you know, especially one that you barely talk to, or you talk to the least, because you begin to understand this man, to understand how he feels and how, you know, how devoted he is and how much of a zeal he has towards the Lord. And all these things are very beneficial for your soul, man. Okay, you come to a brother you might not talk to that much. You might not realize that you like talking to this brother the most, you know. And that's a good thing, man. That's how things are supposed to be. You gotta be there for your brothers, and you can't. Remember, brothers, don't try to take on your afflictions alone, and don't let another brother take on his afflictions alone. Don't, you know, abhor your brother in your heart. Don't hate your brother in your heart. You know, to turn down a brother's need for supplication is to hate your brother. You know, he may be needing this. He may need some recovery or some help, some supplication to help his spirit get back up because he's low. And you don't give that man that supplication, the Lord will look at you like, what's wrong with you? Then you want supplication from the Lord. But you can't give supplication to a brother. You gotta consider your ways, man. But I truly hope this quick hit was edifying to you, Akim, who labor in this truth, you know, for Yahawah Shai and truth and sincerity. And I hope this was a valuable lesson, because I learned a valuable lesson about going to the brotherhood and utilizing brotherhood, knowing that I have help and I'm not alone. I learned a valuable lesson. The Lord taught me a valuable lesson about that, man. And it's very beautiful, man. Okay, it's a very humbling experience. You think you can take on everything alone? The Lord gonna put you to the test. He's gonna see if you can take on everything alone. He's gonna force you to go and call into the brotherhood, man. You need your brothers. That's why he gave them to you. Alright? Call HALALYAM La, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, 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 Truly hope this quick was edifying. Until next time, Yasharallah, I say Shalom.